your girl Rachel with another episode. I have a fabulous guest on my show today. How are you today, ma'am?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing wonderful. So, for everybody that's watching this interview, can you introduce yourself and tell people what you are doing?
My name is Aastha Patel, and I'm a abstract artist, and I started around 3, 4 years ago.
Okay, awesome. And what is your social media so people can follow you?
So my social media, I'm on TikTok. My TikTok is HIGIRLART, High Girl Art.
Mhm.
Um, and I'll explain why that's High Girl Art in a minute. And my Instagram is Abstract Art by Asta. So it's Abstract Art by AASTHA. And that's the full spelling, no spaces. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for sharing that information. So, jumping into our interview, I'm inspired by you because you are an artist and I love art. I don't know if you can see like here behind me. I'm going to unblur me for a second. So, I actually have
Okay.
art in different areas of my office
Oh.
already. Yes. So, I love art in general. I love colors. I love self-expression. So, how did you get started doing art?
Um, Honestly, it kind of started out as like I think this is how it starts out for everyone. I just think it doesn't like people don't think that this is like, oh, this means that I can turn this into art. Like I started out doodling a lot, like in
Mhm.
class and stuff like that. Like I'd always doodle. And then I was like, oh, maybe I should paint and try that.
Mhm.
And when you paint, like usually you have to sketch it out first, so it's more drawing and then painting it.
Mhm.
So my first painting actually I made around 5 years ago. So I guess um, I hadn't started my business then, but I made this painting for fun, and this is what it looked like. I did end up selling it, but it was
Mhm.
a brick and mortar. So it was something trippy like that. And then one of my friends was like, "Oh, you should sell it." And that's when I got the idea, like, oh, maybe I should start selling my art because it's actually really good. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
abstract art is really something that people really like to collect because there's so many ways you can interpret one piece of art for another. And I see you have
Right.
lots of unique pieces behind you, actually.
Go through we don't have to go through like each one. I can go through like a couple if you want me to go through them, just to like show you them up close and stuff like that. So I'll just like pick one out. um, so this one I made a while back for a singer.
Mm-hmm.
And this is actually, so there's some lyrics in here and stuff like that. So this right here says, "I'm struggling with myself, just need a little help," which is one of
Mm-hmm.
the lyrics in the this says, "The seasons changed, I'm better now."
Mm-hmm.
So that's also in the song. Doesn't hurt to prosper. And over here it says, "With all due respect, help yourself." So it's kind of like, it's more like mental health related
Mm-hmm.
also. Sometimes when we're struggling, like there's only so much someone else can do to help us. Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's internal. Like we have to kind of want that for ourselves in order to like grow. Yeah.
Right. That
Yeah.
makes
Mhm.
so this has really
Yeah.
helped you cope with some mental issues, not issues, but like situations that you've gone through. It's
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm definitely I'm a very like anxious person.
Mhm.
So I feel like I have like anxiety a lot, and I'm also schizophrenic. So
Mhm.
like my art has definitely like mental health and stuff like that. But when I was in Houston, I actually made so many paintings,
Mhm.
and they were just abstract paintings, and they kind of just said, "Make somebody proud," and the
Mhm.
title of the painting was "You're Somebody."
Mhm.
So it's kind of like make yourself proud.
Mhm.
And I donated that to like a few hospitals in Houston.
Mhm.
So that really helped me out because I just felt like I just wanted to help people through my art. Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Mhm.
believe like when you look at the pieces, you can see that there's definitely personality behind them.
Mhm.
Colors, they demonstrate different moods that we're in. And each character that you have in your painting is an
Mhm.
extension of your self-expression. Um,
Right,
so
right.
I like that a lot of your pieces. So there is a piece that you have with a lady where
Mhm.
her eyes are white and she has an eyeball right in the center of her head. And I saw it on your
Yeah,
Instagram.
yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, so that piece is actually really interesting because I gave that to one of my I ended up giving that to one of my friends. I didn't even end up selling it
Hmm.
because at the time I was selling my art in a thrift store and he used to make paintings using paper.
Right.
So this is the inspiration. This is a TikTok I saw
Right.
of just like we're all eating noodles.
Hmm.
And then like what I decided to draw with watercolor. This is like the process behind it.
Hmm.
And
Right.
this is like the finished piece.
Hmm. Yes.
Yeah,
I
with
that's the one that I saw.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so that was like a spiritual, kind of like a third eye. It's kind of like opening, just like, um, I guess some of my paintings are spiritual. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm. And then the
Yeah.
last one would be made a paper like art painting
Hmm.
of that painting. Yeah.
Right.
So that was very cool. And he gave me that to keep, and I gave him my painting to keep as just kind of like a souvenir for each other.
That's really cool. Now, these paintings that you have
Yeah.
behind you, are they all commission pieces or are they all for sale?
Some of them are commissions, some of them are for sale. Like for example, this one, the one that I showed, like the singer, he actually it's sad because he never came to pick it up.
Hmm.
It was kind of like, yeah, like I made it for him, but he was like, oh, I can't come to pick it up. But I kept it because I loved it so much.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's very colorful
Yeah.
and it's dedicated to them, of course. But I'm really
Yeah.
eyeballing the one that's directly behind you. It's
Uh,
the one right on the top, right above your head. Yeah,
this
that one
one?
and the one next to it. Yes, those are gorgeous.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, this one I'll explain first. So this
Hmm.
is kind of like an abstract piece. This is called indecisiveness.
Hmm.
Kind of talks to you. So
It
right
does.
here it says hi,
Hmm.
and then I know the camera is inverted, but yeah. So this is hi, and
Hmm.
then it says what do you want right here,
Right.
and then it says I don't know right
Right.
here,
Hmm.
and then it says you should know.
Okay. Yeah. I can see why that would
And
be
then
called indecisiveness.
yeah, exactly. And then it says black is so cool because sometimes, like, when we don't know what to wear, we wear black.
Of course, black is a color.
Exactly. So sometimes when we don't know what to wear, we wear black. So it's
Yeah.
just kind of like sometimes it's okay to not know when people
Hmm.
are telling you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
see how that would be a form of also self-expression with you, because I do know that
Mhm.
schizophrenia is a real thing. So you're hearing noises, you're constantly having so I know a few people that deal with schizophrenia and it's a very serious thing. So
Right.
they're always here, they're different places, their thoughts, they have different voices, they have like a multitude of different things going on mentally. And
Right.
the fact that you're capturing that through your art, I think that's it's actually a beautiful way of seeing it through your eyes.
Yeah. I really appreciate
Of course. So, what are your goals as an artist right now? Because you're in DFW, correct?
that. Yes, I am.
Okay. What are your
Well,
goals with your art?
right now, mainly I've been trying to sell more, like sell my art more. Just because at first I was like, I want to get my art out to more people,
Mm-hmm.
just like focusing on that. And right now I'm trying focusing more on selling it. But like what's happening with that is sometimes like as an artist, you realize what pieces sell more versus what don't. And sometimes you have to take like the commercial route, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you have
I,
to go with pieces that kind of stick out more, maybe that like because right now my style has switched more to abstract and
Hmm.
more like free, and it used to be more like characters and trippy like mushrooms and stuff like that, which used to sell a lot. So right
Right.
now I'm like facing like this weird phase where I'm like, wait, like how come I'm not selling as much because my art style changed? But I realized I need to like reach the right audience. So I guess my goal would just be to reach the right audience.
Right. Right. And
Yeah.
definitely the exposure to the right crowd would definitely help you out. So,
Yeah.
have you attended any of the art galleries in Dallas? Like there's quite a few art events.
Yeah, so I went to a gallery last weekend with a friend, and then I actually went to an event. It was in Dallas, but it was kind of like it was actually my second time doing an event like that where I was selling my art. But the event coordinators, like they were kind of new, and it was like their first time starting out and hosting these types of events.
Hmm.
So it wasn't like it just wasn't what I expected, but I'm still gonna keep trying and just see where it goes. Yeah.
Hmm. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Well,
Mhm.
I could probably plug you in with a couple of artists that are around the area that could help you get your art into exhibits where people can actually buy them. I know that
Oh,
there's
okay. Right.
yeah, there's a place called
Mhm.
Lofty Spaces in Dallas that they do
Okay.
art exhibits almost it's like twice a month, I believe. But
Okay.
it's artists that are all over DFW, all over Dallas that have abstract art. They have, sensual art. They have all kinds of other things there, and they all come together for the fans to come and purchase their art at that exhibit. So it's something for you to check into for sure.
Okay.
Yes. My next question for you is as an artist, what kind of struggles have you come across in your journey so far?
That's a good question. So I feel like because I feel like with artists, it's like on the outside, I feel like you just see all their like great work. You don't really see like how much they're like beating themselves up over like not it being what they want it to be.
Hmm.
Um, like I feel like we're perfectionists in our own way, in our own style. Like we want it to be in that certain way. So I guess just like meeting my expectations all the time, that'd be something that like I've struggled with.
Hmm.
And also just like not like I went through like I don't know, I just went through a time where I didn't feel like a situation happened and then I didn't feel like painting for like a
Hmm.
very long time. And I just like beat myself up over it. And I was like, oh, like, I'm not really an artist because I haven't painted in like 8 months. So, like, how am I going to call myself an artist? You know?
Hmm.
So it was just like a hard realization, but you just have to realize like you can't really beat yourself up over it because that's not going to get you anywhere. And you're still an artist at the end of the day. It's just that you're taking a break from creating, and that's
Hmm.
okay. Yeah,
So in a way, so as an artist, you kind of got writer's block, but like artist edition. Yes, been there,
basically.
done that. Been there, done that. That is a real thing. That is something that happens. I can see that too, because I know a lot of people, they do art out of inspiration, and if you're going through a hard time, you're not really inspired. So it's harder for you to put something together on canvas. But on the
Mhm.
other side of that, when you came back and you started painting, how did you feel? Like when you got through that little hump?
Honestly, I felt a lot better. Like I like it just feels like it's very like the lowest of the lows and the highest of the highs. Like it felt like so great that it was like I just forgot about the rest of it. Like I forgot about the part where I was like, oh, like beating myself about not creating because I was like, like I can still create like what I used to before. And I think also something I struggle with is like getting attached to my paintings
Hmm.
after I like spend a lot of time creating them and I don't want to let them go. And I'm like, like why don't I want to let them go? Like that's such a weird feeling. But it's like I'm literally practicing like making paintings right now and like ruining them just to practice like the law of detachment, just to like
Right.
not feel like attached to stuff that like I shouldn't be feeling attached to. Because
Mhm.
like what I'm scared of mostly is like, oh, what if I can't create that again? But I
Right.
shouldn't be scared of it because like it's me. So if I created it once, I could probably create it like even better twice, you know?
Hmm. Those are facts. My next
Yeah.
question for you is we have a large community of young creatives that watch our channel. And like young artists, we have young poets, we have young actors, young models. If you could give advice to a young artist out there in DFW about their journey, what would you tell them?
Um, I would tell them that stick to your style. And if you don't know what your style is yet, keep going until you figure it out because eventually you're going to figure it out, even if you think that you won't. And I think that's one of the hardest things about like starting off. It's like when you're starting an essay, like you're just like, I have no idea what to do. I have no idea where to start. I have no idea what to write. And I think like when you start like realizing that, you know, like you can do it, then it becomes easier for you because you have this like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Sorry. I guess you have this confidence and you can do it. That's all.
Right. It helps build your confidence in your art over time. As long as you stick with your style, just keep going, keep doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
I get it. Totally understand. For sure. And my next question for you is if you could pick out one piece of art that truly
Uh-huh.
speaks who you are, which piece would that be?
Okay, I have a photo of it because it's one of those pieces that I kind of let go.
Mm-hmm.
Not like, but I ended up selling, but I missed it a lot. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
Okay.
just find it here. Okay, so let me see if
Okay.
you like
Yeah, I see it.
it.
It's good. Yeah, that's a nice piece.
Okay,
That is a nice piece. I like that.
yeah, so it's kind of like it was a very small piece. It was like a 5 by 5,
Mm-hmm.
and it was this big, and it was called Who Knows, and it just said
Mm-hmm.
Who in the middle in really big block letters,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, it just kind of represented like when I made that piece, and after I made it, I thought it was like the worst piece. Like, I don't know why. I thought I was like, why did I even make this? Like, I'm never gonna use this in my life. Like, this is so bad. And it turned into something that like, I don't know, it just turned into something that like I became so attached to that like I never wanted to go let go. And it just started out as literally like, who knows what this piece is?
Right.
Or like who knows what this is gonna be. And that's why I titled it that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there is one more piece. I gave this piece to my therapist actually,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like a mental health painting. So this is the piece. So it kind of talks to you also. So on right here on this side, right here,
Mm-hmm.
it says,
Right.
and then here it says just fine,
Mm-hmm.
and here it says you sure,
Mm-hmm.
and the title is not really.
Oh, yeah, I can see.
It's kind of like you know, when someone asks you if you're doing like okay, you're just say fine, and then the second like time, it's kind of like a deeper layer. Like that's when you know how they're actually doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that really helped me a lot because I got so used to just telling everybody that I was fine that like I never realized that I wasn't doing fine. And like I started asking other people that second question, you know, like, are you really doing fine? Because I
Mm-hmm.
wanted other people to ask me that. So
Right.
those were like pieces that like really helped me and that like I really connected to.
Yeah, I can see why. And
Mhm.
they are beautiful pieces. I mean, they really make a statement. They really actually they could be very nice conversation pieces to also break
Yeah.
ice with someone else who's going through what you're going through. Just the
Yeah.
thoughts. Just the thoughts.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about using your art style as a way of reaching the community with other people who are struggling?
Yes, I have. Uh I've thought about ways that I could do that. Like I did the hospital thing where I sent out like paintings to kids. But I haven't really like mastered like found a right way to be like, okay, like I want to create like mental health paintings and use that to help people. You know what I
Right.
mean? But
Mhm,
I think it's hard to implement that for
mhm,
sure. Like I don't know how I would implement that, but I think that's like a future project. That's like something I would definitely like look into and like work on.
mhm. Because I see there's some inspiration behind you that you are using art to help you cope with the mental illness. And that is
Mhm.
a hot topic everywhere right now. People don't
For
talk
sure.
about it enough, but they need to. And you're using art as a way of connecting it. So,
Yeah.
we could probably make that happen. We can follow up with another interview and see how we can make that happen for your community outreach for that. That
Yeah,
is,
that would be awesome. It's
that
just
would be.
like I've like thought about like wanting to do a podcast, just
Mhm,
like just like sitting down and just talking about like real stuff like that, and not just like art, but other stuff as well. But I think art mainly because that's just like a big part of me. Yeah,
it's a part of your self-expression and your creativity. And I don't think you should stop doing what you're doing. I love what you're doing. I mean, I can look behind you and see all your self-expression, all the moods, all the emotions, everything that you're seeing. All those paintings are an extension of yourself. So, yes, well, thank you very much for your time today for interviewing with me.
yeah,
Is there
for sure.
anything, is there anything out there that you want people to know about you, uh, other than what we
Um,
interviewed?
um, I mean, I just want them to know that I think that everyone can help people in different ways.
Mhm.
So whatever your way is, I hope you find. Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. Well, I hope to follow up with you on a future interview, and we'll definitely keep in touch. So,
Okay, sounds
everybody,
good.
yes, everybody, please go follow her social media, her Instagram. Follow her art. She does have some really fabulous pieces that are for sale. And definitely support local artists, support local DFW as well. And follow us all on social media as well. What's Up Dallas Magazine. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for interviewing me.
You're welcome. And we'll follow up. Everybody, thank you so much.